The only thing with any decent chip is the Ting Lu at 53%, who's weak to the close combats. Holy shit! Wicked Blow still does 62 for Hatterene. And that's the single strike or Shifu difference. Even these resisted attacks, now it's neutral, but they're still just nuking the field. Now the Charizard Y going for that big solar beam again. Is he not carrying Weather Ball? I feel like Cowboy is the type to just click the Weather Ball here. Although I guess it's hitting the rest of the team neutrally and Tangrowth's super effective, so I see no purpose in not hitting that fire type attack. So, oh! Oh! I did not see that coming. That's a huge KO. Oh my. Oh my god. It is almost over already and I forgot to watch the match. So we have David, the new phony mouse, okay, versus Goof Meek. The match is almost over, but it seems to be even, a 3-3 situation. Aerodactyl, Garchomp, and Weavile versus Mawile, Registeel, and Venusaur. I'm going to say I think David has the odds in this situation. However, the Toxic does go down on the Garchomp, and that's really the Pokemon who's going to be wanting to stay in and really has an edge in this match. I think Venusaur might be able to stall this thing out. David, you better not cheat using the tech that I'm talking about here. I see you in the chat. That shit better be muted. So, Mawile, interesting. Lowers the attack. This Earthquake can't hurt as hard. Sucker Punch is not doing much damage. And there's the Rocky Helmet. Yeah. I think that's a wrap. Goof Meek should have totally gone Venusaur in that situation. Did Goof forfeit? Oh my god. That's tough. That is tough. Yeah, should have went Venusaur there. Okay, let's see how that match started out. So we had the Mawile versus the Chandelure. See, I probably would have Sucker Punched there. That Sucker Punch probably would have KO'd the attacking Chandelure. I mean, I don't know the exact EV calculations, but that's what I would have done. And so for the second season in a row, he's running... Holy shit, that just blew my mind. He's running a physical Latios, but the Chandelure was actually able to call that. I would have expected a Shadow Ball from Latios, but he actually Earthquaked into a Shuckaberry Chandelure, allowing him to resist that attack. Sun Sweeping Venusaur, doing tons of damage. Tons and tons of damage. Interesting. And so we're pretty much even for this game. We came in at 3-3, now watching the replay, we're back at 2-2. And that magic bounce onto the Araquanid is an incredible switch. I think that was very smart of David to do that. Leech Life giving the Araquanid tons of health back. That's really great. See, at this stage in the game, I 100% would have given it... I would have given it to Goof Meek, but the fact that he just gave away his Pokemon to the Earthquaking Garchomp instead of going into the Venusaurs is really where this game went wrong for him. Okay, here's the matchup. So, this looks to be pretty much the exact team that I was expecting from Cowboy Swanson. I was kind of expecting a Thundurus instead of an Alakazam. But the point is he has a Volt Switch Absorber in a Ground type. Because otherwise, this Tapu Koko would just love to Volt Switch through the entire team. And he really needs to protect this Dondozo. Because it is going to stop the hyper offense form that Meek Millie's team has taken. He's loving to spam like Swords Dance and Belly Drum. Is this an Ubers League? Yeah, it's kind of like a half Ubers League. So Pokemon like Cyclizar, Pokemon like Magearna, they are... It's Natdex Ubers. They are considered to be above 20 points when you're drafting them, and you can only have one 20-point Pokemon. So you can have a Mega Bladeskin, you can have a Mega Latios, but you can only really get one of them. And we kind of cut the line at Marshadow. Marshadow is like the highest, the most powerful thing in the league. Anything better than a Marshadow, we just figured was too powerful. Like Primal Groudon, get out of here. We don't want that in the league. It's just not fun having to build around those. So we see the leads are Hippowdon versus Cyclizar. Cyclizar is a super common lead because it can just go ahead and Shed Tail. And that's going to be great because you can avoid a Toxic from Hippowdon. Although, you know, we might see a Whirlwind here in this situation, just making Cyclizar lose that health. But he ends up setting Stealth Rocks, and now we have an Iron Bundle with a Speed Boost behind a Substitute, and Cowboy is in trouble now. Because I don't know the calcs, but I'm willing to bet Iron Bundle can one-shot a Hippowdon, and it can two-shot the Dondozo, which is probably the best tank versus this thing. So Cowboy's looking in trouble, and that's very good for Meek Millie, because I think in the long game, Cowboy has the positive matchup. Meek Millie just needs to put him on his back foot quick enough. He's got that hyper offensive team, and he needs to just immediately apply that pressure. So now we see the Dondozo has Spadef. It looks to be Cowboy Swanson's signature Cursed Rest set. So hopefully this Freeze Drive is going to KO, but he's probably going to get the rest off. No, instead he just goes for the Body Press, breaking the Substitute, which is good for Cowboy Swanson. But it looks like the Dondozo is going to die here. And without that, Meek Millie's team is really freed up to do its like swords dancing on the Hawlucha. So he goes into the Magearna. I think that's a really good decision. It's one of the best resistances he has. Hydro Pump is still going to hit very hard, but the Flash Cannon is going to hurt the Iron Bundle harder, and I think he needs to switch it out and save it. Because obviously the Iron Bundle matches up so well against his team. I would be saving it here, and I don't know who I'd be going into, though. There's not a lot of Magearna answers on this team. Meek Millie's piping up in the chat. Let's see what he said here. He said, I forgot this isn't Gen 4. I thought that Sandstorm was going to kill me. If you don't know, our friend Meek Millie here is a Random Bats Generation 4 professional. And that's all he plays. He's very high ranked on that ladder. And in that generation, they have permanent weather. So he thought he was just going to keep getting chipped. So, the Thunderbolt right into the Mantine. Mantine is down. Now, Cowboy looks like he actually has the lead. He's already taken a piece. He has that special attack boost. The game is looking well for him. And it's wild to see that sort of... What's the word I'm looking for? It's wild to see that momentum switch so quickly. You know, this league started off just a bunch of my friends, and a lot of us didn't know how to play Pokemon very well. At the time, I was the best player in the league. Now we're on our 4th season. That's not the case. You know, I think there's 2, 3, maybe even 4 players better than me now, because everybody's just kept playing and getting better. This match, it looks like a real match, and these guys, like, no offense, they weren't good Season 1, but now it's really awesome seeing how much these players have improved and are honestly putting up a very entertaining match right now. So the drought goes up. We don't see the Roaring Moon on the enemy team, so we don't have to worry about that Photosynthesis proccing. But what we are worried about is the Iron Bundle's attack power is now cut in half. As Pokemon Trainer Orange said in the chat, there's no Hydro Resist now. Well, there kind of is, because the sun is up. Now kind of everything is a Hydro Pump resist. Now I'm trying to see, what can Meek Millie do about this Charizard? Looks like he doesn't have to do anything. He just moves it out for him. Gets a nice U-turn, does a big chunk of chip damage to the Frostmoth. In this situation, I would probably just go Hawlucha and try to go back to exerting pressure. Right? If that's not a terrain Hawlucha, maybe it's like a white herb, and we could close combat and get that speed boost. What's the Dondozo at? Yeah, the Dondozo is not a problem anymore. The Hawlucha is free to rip whenever it gets the opportunity to go. The Hawlucha's in great shape with Dondozo chipped so well. Now, does Cowboy Swanson know this? Cowboy has improved a lot. I'm sure he recognizes the threat that Hawlucha is on the field. If Meek Millie has a way to get that speed boost up, this could be This could be game. Right? If he lands a close combat in white herbs, he's off to the races. What's Magirna's chip at? Do we think like an adamant close combat KOs? Ooh, the Thunder Punch. Ooh, that was not it. Ooh, the Ice Beam. Yeah. See, he really needed that KO there. That's a stab Ice Beam. There was no universe how Lucha was surviving that. However, a grass type looks freeze-dryable to me. If the Hawlucha has Swords Dance, Taunt, Roost, it could be really scary. Yeah, that's a great set as well. Now, Pokemon Trainer Orange, you're new here. Let me explain to you how this works. We have a point sheet. It's available on our Discord. The point sheet works like this, right? I told you Pokemon above 20 points you can only have one of. Well, only Pokemon under 10 points can actually Terra type. There's only 2 Pokemon who can Terra type in this match. Frostmoth is around 7 or 6 points, so that thing was able to Terra. And this Mantine there was also able to Terra. Now Terra is out of the game. Cowboy's already burnt his up, and Meek Millie has no available Terra type Pokemon. So this is a classic Nat Dex Ubers match going on here now. Now, what are the moves on this Cyclizar? Yeah, shit, let me drop the Discord for sure. Happy to drop the Discord. We like to host Pokemon tournaments here and there, so check it out. Feel free to join. You can select a flare. I recommend the Twitch channel and the Pokemon tournaments channel. Those are the 2 I recommend flaring for. Adding yourself to the drafts. There's like a coaches only section, and then there's like a public section. And the public section, there's not a lot of people talking there. But the Twitch and tournament section, highly recommend. Solar Beam into the Tangrowth. Woo! A Tangrowth still takes 35%. If I'm being honest, that is far more chip than I was expecting. I don't know what you guys think of that, but I think that is an impressive amount of chip. So he goes into the Koko. What are we getting hit with here? A Flamethrower doing 78%. Tapu Koko needs to do something here. Typically, Meek Millie is known for liking to run screens, although maybe with the Dondozo on the opposing team, he might be running a more offensive this week. Hits him with the Dazzling Gleam, doing 34%. Koko is pretty much dead. He has no defoggers left, so if he tries to hit the field again, he's dead. I think he just rips another Dazzling Gleam. Yep. Gets that damage down as he gets Earthquaked off the field. If I'm Meek Millie here, do I have enough health? Yes, I... Ooh, it's close. If I'm Meek Millie here, I think I'm going Cyclizar. I'm setting my Shed Tail, and I'm going right back into the Iron Bundle. Instead, he goes out into his Resist, Tangrowth. Let's see what he's thinking here. What's his plan with this? Because right now, all I'm seeing is bait for the Charizard to come out and hit the field again. Should have used Slack Off? Absolutely should have slacked off there. I agree. So the logic in that move to use Slack Off is that the Tapu Koko only had 4% health left. And yeah, Tyler Dingledine said it before I had the chance. Earthquake wasn't going to do anything because it was already going to die to the Sandstorm. So he might as well slacked off and gotten his HP back in this situation. If you're running teams such as Sand or Hail... Ooh, Hail doesn't exist anymore. That's Snow. Yeah, so basically, if you're running a Sand team, you need to be very conscious of that fact. I remember I ran Hail a couple seasons ago with the Ninetales, and it happened at least twice, maybe 3 times that season, where Hail was getting the KO anyway, so I just took the free switch. I switched out, or I think maybe I nasty plotted with Ninetales. You want to be conscious of that. It's not going to happen all the time, but it came up this game. It happened 2 or 3 times for me my season. Something good to keep in mind. Now the Charizard Y going for that big Solar Beam again. Is he not carrying Weather Ball? I feel like Cowboy is the type to just click the Weather Ball here. Although I guess it's hitting the rest of the team neutrally and Tangrowth's super effective, so I see no purpose in not hitting that Fire-type attack. So, oh! Oh! I did not see that coming. That's a huge KO. Oh my. That critical hit changes everything. If the Cyclizar was able to get up that Shed Tail, at any moment the Iron Bundle could have gone off. Now the Iron Bundle is forced to try and Hydro Pump, and I don't know if it can do enough damage in the sun. It does still manage to get that damage. And now the music hits, and now things are speeding up. Does Hydro Pump get the KO here? What's the speed on this? Okay. I think I'm going Tangrowth, and I'm trying... I'm going Tangrowth and trying to let the Life Orb chip Magearna down. We need this Hydro Pump to KO. We can't risk it doing anything else. So bait out this Life Orb damage. Maybe try and Leech Seed or something with the Tangrowth. Do whatever you can to make this Hydro Pump KO. You need to secure this KO. He goes into the Tangrowth. He's playing well. The Life Orb chips Magearna further. See, Meek Millie doesn't have room to be playing for differential anymore. He is playing for the win. But Cowboy Swanson has all the cards in his hand. He is clearly dominating the field. Tangrowth, Morning Sun's in the sand. That's something you don't see often. That move heals 50% health, unless you're in the sun, where it heals 100%. Could have been huge while Charizard Y was alive, but now Hippowdon hit the field, meaning that move only heals 25%. The Giga Drain gives another 22% as Hippowdon slacks off. What is Tangrowth going to do? He has the tight matchup. We get the Toxic on the Alakazam, who reveals himself to be Magic Guard. He's not taking Sandstorm damage. The Toxic isn't doing anything to him. Now, at 372 speed, the Iron Bundle still has outspeed potential on the Alakazam, but does it have the knockout potential? Is Alakazam weak enough to get KO'd by the Iron Bundle? I don't think so. I think this is probably game. Ice Beam only does 58%. And that's the game, ladies and gentlemen. Cowboy Swanson, very impressive matchup. So far, that might be my match of the week, but I know we have some very exciting replays to watch later on. Okay, now this is an exciting match. I like this. Cerulean was the runner-up Season 1, championship contender, playing with his Obama Snow right now, while Matt dominated our lower division last year and has been promoted to the more advanced league. So I have close eyes on both of them. I consider Cerulean to be a bit of a rival of mine. We always have a bit of a dogfight match, very fun. Whereas Matt here it's like a sweet summer child of a player. I really like watching Matt's games because I feel like he's got a little bit of everything and a little bit of nothing, if that makes sense. Like he's got good, okay skill, he's got okay team building, okay just like all around game knowledge. It's kind of like some people will see players in our league who are really good team builders, but they can't play for shit. And then we have people who are the opposite. I'm not going to name names, but we have some players who are really good if you give them a good team, but they themselves can't build these good teams. And then, we have people who are amazing at both those things. Matt Way is what happens when you kind of are pretty good at, like, everything. Like, maybe not the best, but, like, pretty good at this, pretty good at that, pretty good at this. And having everything kind of going for him means that he surprises you with, like, an interesting match. You never know if it's going to be his team building that surprises you, or his gameplay, or maybe his blind luck critical hitting something, like that Moltres just critted on U-turn. So Tinglu switches in on the Tapu Fini. I think that's a mistake. But I'm really not seeing a good Tapu Fini answer. Oh! And there you go. Matt Way has surprised me already. Now, Whirlwind is popular on Tinglu. I shouldn't be surprised, but I didn't see a way for him to answer Calm Mind Tapu Fini in front of a Aurora Veil, but he just Whirlwinds it and gets rid of it. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm like, let's be honest, that's on me. I should have seen that coming, but it was well done. Now the Noivern hits the field. I believe it's 9 points. I believe it's like the absolute highest level thing that can actually Terra type. So you got to be worried about that thing's Terra Normal Boom Burst hitting the field. It's one of the strongest attacks in our league. And the Iron Treads hits the field. Steel Roll removes the terrain. That is a move you only see Cerulean building. He's one of our most creative players. I love watching his sets. He always does like some weird trapping moves. But I'm not really actually seeing the value in it. It hits, you know, the Chien Pao and the Hatterene, but why doesn't he just Iron Head, you know? He wants to remove his own terrain for some reason. I don't understand. Obama Snow sets up another Aurora Veil. I think Cerulean is on a timer. He's looking for an opportunity to set up and blow up Matt's team using the Aurora Veil. And he's not finding these opportunities. He needs to work a little bit faster. Now, looking at his team, is that Urshifu single? That is Urshifu single. It matches up very well against his team, yep. And so he goes into it. That's kind of what I was expecting. It looks like his best setup opportunity. And he's doing what I was kind of saying. He's working a little faster now. Instead of going into the more passive Finny, he's going into the more offensive Urshifu. He's saying, you react to me this game. Because now he can bulk up and start spamming close combats or wicked blows. The only thing who really likes taking those is probably the Moltres, I think. Who is just U-turned out of the field. The Rotom comes out, maybe looking for a burn. $5 on Cerulean, so focused. Tyler jumps in the chat, says he just had to chip Matt's team to deploy the Urshifu. I agree. That's typically what you're looking for, is to get some chip down, but I just don't see that much valuable chip. Chien Pao is still at 100. Hatterene's still at 100. Moltres still at 100. Rotom's at 99. The only thing with any decent chip is the Ting Lu at 53%, who's weak to the close combats. Holy shit! Wicked Blow still does 62 for Hatterene. And that's the single strike Urshifu difference. Even these resisted attacks, no, it's neutral, but they're still just nuking the field. 51% of the Rotom, not enough to KO. Might pull back the Urshifu, yes, as he U-turns. Very wise, he's protecting it. Now the question is, what is the item on this Urshifu? As you see here, there's no item on it. I suspect maybe a Black Glasses. It's not a Life Orb, which is good, because he's playing very defensively. He's protecting it, and the Life Orb would chip it and make that job harder. Now the Misty Terrain is back up. So whatever status this Rotom wants to spread, whether that be Toxic or Thunder Wave, looks to be Will-O-Wisp this week, that's out of the game. Looks like he has no electric attacks, no Volt Switch, otherwise he would Volt Switch into this Finny. As we get a Calm Mind up. Calm Mind Finny looks pretty good this week. I would probably just rip the Moonblast right here and get the Ting Lu KO. Matt is having a very hard time now. He's down. He's only got 4 Mons left, while Cerulean is at a full 6. Now, and not much of Cerulean's team is chipped. His Obama Snow is in the worst case, right? He's got Burn, he's at 38%. Cerulean might be able to get up one more set of screens if he's very lucky. But Mew, Iron Treads, and Noivern are still at 100%. They're looking in great position right now. The Chien Pao hits the field, only doing 28%. And getting KO'd. It looks like Matt is starting to suffocate. He's choking. That's what that means. He's out of options here. Now Hatterene hits the field. Is Psychic Fairy, is that a Fairy resist? Does Fairy resist Fairy? Oh, and the Substitute goes out. The Nuzzle, not enough to break the Substitute, so he gets no para, and the Substitute stays up, as he's now able to start subbing up for free again. Dazzling Gleam doing no type of damage. As he's able to just continue Calm Minding, instead, opts to go for the Scald. And it looks like this game is wrapped up, ladies and gentlemen. A big 6-0 from Cerulean, if I do say so myself. Do we see any electric attacks from this Rotom? I don't think we're going to see it. Tyler Dingladine suggests maybe the Urshifu Single Strike is a protective pad set. I think it's quite possible. If you don't know, that boosts the damage of a Single Strike while also protecting him from contact moves, or contact punishment. as the Scald shuts down the Moltres. GG's. Okay. What are we looking at here? Knowing my opponent, I'm expecting the Meowscarada lead. In which situation, I play my Lust. Let's sub out, see what he does. He goes for the Stealth Rocks. Okay, I always forget what Ground's resistances are. Does it resist poison? It does. I think is my best move Energy Ball then. It's unresisted, but it's not stab, so that's 90. Whereas this is stab. I think they're equal, but this one has 10% to burn, and this one is 10% lower defense. I'm going to go for that, because I think I want to try and get Toxic down. Okay, he goes for the Earthquake. Let's sub again. Is that a dick move? Because he knows I'm probably fearing this Earthquake. We both know that he has the Earthquake now. As he just rips another raw Earthquake. Okay. Okay. We'll go into the Lando. Intimidate you. Drop that. Ooh, and he hits me with the Stone Edge. I'm going to get these rocks off the field. I don't really want to be getting chipped. If I see an Ice Fang coming from this Garchomp, I will be very upset. Okay. What do we think is going to hit the field now? Whatever it is, I don't want to see it. I think if I try and poison, like there's a chance he goes into the Goldengo or the Naganadel. So our Toxic is somewhat risky here. Wow, he is wild. He is absolutely wild for that. Okay. You want to play games? Let's play games. I'm going to bulk up here. I'm going to keep bulking up as he probably gets a Toxic down on me. Yep. Keep bulking up. And Drain Punch that. This is really tough for me now. It's a big crit. Go into this and lay the Toxic. So this is dangerous because he's going to be able to Toxic me as well. But I think I just want to get the Toxic down, get the Defog out. I always struggle with like wall type Pokemon like this. Like he's just slowing the game down and like messing up my team, right? He's got the Toxic, he's got the Scald to spread the burns. And I'm just not totally certain on how I want to play that. I'm going to go into the Garganacl. Should be able to tank this and KO with Avalanche. No KO. I'll go into the Primeape, let you boost my Rage Fist. Oh, you don't want to boost my Rage Fist. Okay. Okay, 150 base power Rage Fist hitting something right now. So he's hit me twice. The defense EVs pay off as the Rage Fist hits for 72%. Shoot. I think I made a miscalculation. I didn't calculate for +1 Flamethrower. God, I really want to calc this. I think I just Salt Cure. So Sludge Wave does 38%. Salt Cure does some damage. Then the actual Salt Cure status hits and KOs the Naganadel. That looks good for me. He's going to try and Flower Trick me. I go into my Lust. As he knocks off my Heavy Duty Boots, doing huge amounts of damage. Alright, so he's lost the stab on his Flower Trick. So I could go and U-turn. Knocks that off. Does that. Okay. Now he's doing less damage. That's toxic. That's that. I'm just gonna knock off myself. Let's take an item from something. Okay, no more lefties on Garchomp. Garchomp is just gonna get chipped more and more for the rest of this game. Okay. Now we're just gonna KO with the Ice Punch. We're really starting to run out of options for dealing with the Goldengo. The Metagross, Oko's the Meowscarada. The Obama Snow hits the field. I believe we can KO this with an Iron Head. Actually manages to tank it. I'm shocked. I'm gonna Psycho Cut. Okay. Now if this is a nasty plot Goldengo. Shit. I'm in big fucking trouble. Do we just prey on flinches? No. Okay, he goes for the Shadow Ball. Okay, which is perfect. If he is like Choice or something and wants to spam Shadow Balls, I am Terra Normal. So we're gonna Dragon Dance. Terra Normal Dragon Dance. No, I'm gonna recover here. You can try and spread that Toxic, but I'm gonna recover. So my Salt Cure, Purifying Salt prevents me from getting Toxic. He can still Scald me. So he goes Terra Grass, doing 21% damage that I can recover off. Now I'm gonna Salt Cure here. A little disappointed in myself and my inability to get rocks up until now, but rocks are going up. A little more chip. We're gonna Salt Cure this. Does Good as Gold prevent my Salt Cure? It does. That's huge. That's freaking huge. Let's hope this 1,000 Arrows does damage, because this might be GG. I think Goldengo, Nasty Plot Goldengo messes me up here. So if you want, you can... I'm in a position where I need to be able to chip Goldengo so that my 1,000 Arrows is able to KO. What is the defense on a Goldengo? 95 with 87 HP versus my Zygarde 10, who has 100 attack plus stab on 100 base power. It's really freaking close. I'm gonna Salt Cure you. And I'm gonna just keep Salt Curing. I'll let you KO. Because I'm pretty sure I'm faster. Hold on, let me check my speed. 289. Shit, a max speed Goldengo might actually be faster. I want to make the aggressive play and go into the Zygarde. Because I don't want to survive. God damn it! Yeah, I really didn't want... Fuck, man. Ugh. I can't rage bite my paper. That was sticky. Okay. See, and then he goes into the Goldengo. See, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to catch that. See, that actually doesn't damage me very much. I need you to try and use, like, Make It Rain or something on me. Unless you don't have Make It Rain. Is this a Recover Goldengo? I'm just trying to get as much chip as I can. That was our plan from the beginning, and we're gonna follow through with it. And that's probably a mistake. It is recover Goldango. Fuck this Goldango, man. 26%. So he uses the Make It Rain, lowering his special attack. Alright, let's see if Thousand Arrows can do this. Doesn't affect me. And that is game. Alamola comes in. The E-speed is not enough, and I go down with just one.